Ohio University may be known to some as Mike Schmidt's alma mater, but its sports administration program has put a host of other graduates in the major leagues.
We have approximately 40 students involved still remaining in professional baseball. Of all the sports, I think they have that tremendous dedication to baseball. It's unbelievable.
I noticed at the baseball meetings this year in Scottsdale, I think there were 10 of us upper-level management people who all were graduates of the sports administration program.
OU is not the only way to get in baseball, but we like to believe it's the best way.
The one-year graduate program began in 1966. It was the first of its kind, and the idea came from this man.
It was really the brainchild of Walter O'Malley, who was a man obviously ahead of his time. He started the program, at least conceptually, at Columbia University in New York, and then Dr. James Mason, who he had structured the program with, left Columbia, went to Ohio University, and that's how the program moved. Obviously not a logical transition from Columbia to Athens, Ohio. And Dr. Mason began the program in the late 60s, and a lot of other people have thought it's a good idea. I think the University of Massachusetts program is excellent, but Ohio University, without question, it's easy for me to say this, but without question, is the Harvard of the sports management programs.
And that makes the program attractive, so much so that hundreds are turned away.
This past year, we had 193 potential students that actually completed their application process, and we interviewed face-to-face 163 of those candidates. From that pool of talented young students, that we select a class of approximately 25 individuals each year.
We've had lawyers who've given up their law practices. We've had dentists give up their dental practice. We've had people with PhDs.
There's a lot of people that want to get into this program, and we interview a lot of people. And to try and differentiate between people, you really have to squeeze them and see what they're made out of, and challenge them in the interview.
They really try to put you on the spot. They really try to see if they can intimidate you. I think that they want to see what people are made of. They want to see how confident you are. I think that most of the people that graduated from the program, with few exceptions, are some of the most confident people I've ever met. I mean, they're very self-assured.
During the interview process, the students are evaluated on their maturity primarily, and on their dedication and commitment to professional sports. If they are in baseball, during the interview process, we want to make certain that through the questioning that they know baseball and know exactly what they're going to get into, and if their career objectives are realistic. We can only have one baseball commissioner. We can't have 800 students saying they want to be the baseball commissioner.
As in any academic program, this one, to train sports administrators, relies a great deal on classroom discussions.
Artie, you were going to say something.
Well, what I was going to say was what baseball has unique to other sports. It has a way to grow, help those new players coming in to grow. I mean, when you get a new expansion, for instance, the New York Mets, when they came in expansion in the early 60s, I mean, they won, 8 years later, they won a world championship.
Bill, what do you think?
How are you going to divide up the talent in Major League Baseball when you bring in these fees? We talk about, talent. There's plenty of talent, there's no doubt, but how are you going to take certain ball players from the Oakland A's, for example? How are you going to split them up? How are you going to decide how to split them up?
We're taught what it takes to be successful out in the field. We're taught what it's going to take for us to make decisions in the future that's going to make an impact, a positive impact on baseball.
I learned more in that 1 year than the previous 4 combined, because the people in the program were so dynamic. One of the class activities was to get a situation. Everybody had a different situation, a black situation. You're the AD at such school, and you're now on probation for such and such a situation. How are you going to handle this? And everybody in the class acted as members of the media, trying to grill you in a press conference. And afterwards, you talk about it, and you talk about how you did, and everybody's giving each other pointers. And it was, all classes were like that. You'd always get off the subject and start talking about, well, how would you handle this situation? How would you handle that situation? And you can learn so much from a book, but the actual hands-on experience goes so much further.
This hands-on experience supplements the classroom approach, providing students with a practical method for learning the business.
I've been involved with the program directly for 15 years, and every student that we've had has always been able to attain an internship.
They get hands-on experience, and these people are not just flunkies or given flunky jobs or gopher jobs. They are given responsible positions. We do not send anyone out on an internship that is not paid, and we do not send anyone out that is not considered a full-time employee of the organization that they contract with.
Students also gain experience on campus, putting on the now traditional Friday night at the fights.
This is the 17th year, and it's an activity that we try to draw all the students together in one big culminating activity where they put together all that they've learned. They go about pulling it off from A to Z. They'll sell the tickets. They'll get the tickets. They get the advertising. They solicit the boxers. They go through the training process with the boxers, and then of course they pull it off that evening. And I think that's a great satisfying thing to think that you can pull off an event that of that magnitude here in this locale.
Fight night was like an all-star game on a much smaller scale, obviously. But it was a major event for that small town of Athens, Ohio, that the college students there look forward to every year. And it was, tickets, promotions, everything that goes into an event here. Putting on events as we did at OU, such as Fight Night, that's an experience that we do every day here now. That's really what our job is all about. I mean, we put on a show 81 times a year.
Coming from a respected program like this one at Ohio University helps graduates in more ways than one.
That's the beauty of the Ohio University program, is that we have graduates in those positions now that are going to be hiring people in the business. And they're going to go back to their roots. I can pick up the phone and I can call Andy Dolich, for example. Now, Andy doesn't know me from a bale of hay. Okay, but if I can call him, get to his secretary and say, "It's Greg Ianni at Ohio University. I'm a graduate of the Sports Administration program," chances are I can get through to Andy.
Athens, Ohio may lack big city prominence, but for those who want to land a front office job in baseball, it's the place to be.
Athens, Ohio is not exactly the #1 cosmopolitan marketplace in the country, but many other programs in major universities have tried to compete with OU, and they've never come close. It's because of all the graduates. It's because of these 600 people that now have positions around the world that the OU has gotten to this position of prominence, and I think it's only a matter of time until it really leapfrogs all the other ones so that no one can ever touch OU.